Hey everybody. I expect by now you've all seen Dennis's amazing banana mug cake. It occurred to us in a conversation yesterday. 80% of our business revolves around adjusting recipes to a client taste. It's very rare these days that you find somebody who doesn't have some type of an eating aversion, let's say an allergy, celiac, food sensitivities, special diets. So we specialize in making recipe substitutions. We looked at the mug cake, and as simple as it was, we wondered if we could actually recreate it using some alternative ingredients and open it up to those who may not be able to have wheat and need to lower the sugar a little bit. So I'm following his recipe step by step. Now, what I've done, a couple different things. Instead of regular wheat flour, you have here Tigernut flour. Tigernuts are a rhizome. They grow underground. They are nut-free and grain-free, gluten-free, and they seem to work really well for baking. Then I also looked at one of our old standbys. You've got cassava flour. Cassava flour has no gluten, it's grain-free, nut-free, 100% yucca root, and is used as a really good wheat substitute. I've also made adjustments to the sugars using organic maple sugar crystals that are bought from Maine, and also some organic brown coconut sugar. You may have seen us use before in a few things. Unrefined and low glycemic, which is what we're looking for in addition to taking down the starches and getting rid of the wheat. So without further ado, all right, so what I did, I reconstituted the cherries just like Dennis did, but I also added some gluten-free oatmeal, probably about a tablespoon dried. Let that macerate with the cherries. Because I'm making up for liquid ratios using cassava and Tigernut, I want to make sure that there's enough liquid. So, mashed banana, add our cherries and a little bit of oatmeal.
Now what I did is I poured out the juice from the cherries you let it absorb into, right?
Into the oatmeal so that
Okay.
we have a little bit more body with it.
Got it.
Next thing, 1 whole egg. And such a beautiful yellow yolk. I've also chosen to use a quiet silicone spatula, not clanging and banging.
I regretted when I was editing, hearing the scrape, thinking, oh, I should.
And before we filmed this one of his notes for me was, you might not want to use the fork. I'm like, oh, because of the clanging. So I had thought about doing that. But this is also learn as you go for us, which makes it a lot of fun.
Like I said in the video, it was the first one we'd made, so we were just going based on how we do other things.
Now this seems to be a tiny bit runnier than what he did. I don't think it's going to be an issue because all of this tends to meld together. Plus we've got these incredible other ingredients here. So I think it was at this point, close to it, we've got Tigernut flour, cassava, baking soda, baking powder, pumpkin pie spice, coconut sugar, and maple sugar crystals. What's interesting with the maple sugar crystals is they really are crystals. It's not like that powdery stuff. And this is going to have some flavor throughout and probably little chunks of the maple flavor. At least I hope so. So let's delicately get in close here. I'm not quite as suave as you were with
Are you kidding me? Half the time, half of those ingredients would be on the table.
Folding my dry ingredients in.
I think you may actually have a little bit more there based on some of the adjustments and the water, which is good. That mug could use a tiny bit more batter. I just didn't want to run the risk of having too much and have it overflow.
The other thing that I'm looking at it right now, and one thing that I have to do, first of all, we want to activate it with the lemon juice because he activated the baking powder, baking soda with the lemon juice. Okay, this is good. We're getting the same reaction here.
See that?
You can
see how it
foams up.
Changes immediately.
All right, so this is working the way I need it to.
It's-
Mike, look at it puff.
Yeah.
All right.
That looks the same.
This is what we wanted. My big concern was, how am I going to adjust dry ingredients? My instinct is telling me right now, the only adjustment I really need to make, I'm going to add another half tablespoon of Tigernut, only because, maybe more like 3/4 of a tablespoon. I end up eyeballing these alternative batters and doughs all the time and know pretty much what works. So we're going to dump that in there for good measure.
Lesson for people who don't cook a lot is that you change, you adjust as you go. It's very important in cooking.
And understand that I've been making adjustments like this for 21 years in this business. I have redone so many recipes. It is crazy. And all of a sudden, I just feel better about this batter. So that additional 3/4 of a tablespoon, odd measurement, I think it's working in our favor. I'm adding vanilla. Now, vanilla also reacts with egg. You get swirly in there, and I'm heavy-handed with vanilla.
Yep. You probably added about twice as much as I did, but it's not a problem. Like I said, vanilla to taste.
Now, the other thing, salt. We love our salt. Okay, now that I added the salt, I've accounted for the different ingredients here, which is why I waited to add my pecans. Same amount he did, 1 heaping tablespoon. Stir those in. And got that small pat of butter. So we're going to line very clumsily line. I have a feeling that cooking spray would also work for this, but
Probably would, but I love butter.
we're real butter people. So, all right, so that part is done. And again, as he did, break the rest of that lovely whole butter up into our batter. There we go. Give it a stir.
It'll all equalize.
Yeah, just equalize it. Yeah, it flows out. All right, time to add, we're calling that a tablespoon of maple syrup.
Yes, it was probably a tablespoon.
I get a little reckless.
Like I said, you can add whatever you want.
But like I said, eyeballing, we can see that this is not, so many of the dry ingredients sink to the
You're going to
bottom.
be tasting it anyhow.
And here we go. Proof is literally in, not the pudding, but the batter.
Close enough to pudding for me.
All right, that's good.
Verdict.
It's ready to go in the microwave
It is balanced.
without changing a damn thing.
Okay.
I can't believe it.
All right, hey,
All right,
you know,
so
you've done this
let's see where it
times.
ends up on the cup. Yeah, 1,000 times. My God, that's the first time doing it with this way.
But batters like this.
Batters like this, yeah. We may have a bit bigger. This is almost more breakfast friendly, I would say. This is actually friendly for any time. I already know I'm saying that. All right.
A little bit more, but not a lot more.
Yeah, it really
think
isn't a
it's
lot
good.
more. I think the oats gave it a little bit more volume
And the additional water.
and
So
the additional water from that. But since we've compensated, and because I want a clean cup going into the microwave,
Like people say, always clean the edges.
always clean your edges. All right. Clean the edges. That's good enough.
Perfect.
All right,
Now
let's
we're
put
ready to
this in the
go.
microwave, fingers crossed, and we'll be back with the finished product.
I'm crossing my fingers now.
He is. There we go. And just a tiny drizzle of our pure maple syrup. This is settled back nicely. You can see we've cleaned the mug off reasonably well. And I'm not seeing many differences, but it's always, you know, the texture when you taste
A little
it.
bit higher. You do a better job garnishing than I do.
Not really.
Always.
This is kind of
Always.
slapdash. I would have used a shaker.
To your standards.
But thank you.
So,
All right.
Spoons. This is sad. How
Spoon.
long do you think?
I want to say probably about 3-4 minutes because we've been getting things ready.
No, I think more like 8 to 10.
8 to 10? Okay, I have
I
no
would
concept of
think.
time. So let's say 8 to 10. That way you know you're not going to burn your mouth. So here we go. Now.
God, I think yours might even be moister than mine.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
All right.
That looks, well, I'll tell you what. The color's very similar. What do you think on...
I think color is incredibly similar.
And
Hold on.
I've got to taste some. Difference, I'll tell you the difference. This tastes like a really good banana cake. Mine would had more of a texture, like you said, of a Christmas pudding.
This one has banana cake. It's not raw at all through. I'm going deep in here to show you.
It is, it's this
This
slight
is-
differences, but
This is what we have.
I'm telling you that they taste a little bit
Okay.
different, but they're both very good.
So guys, what I want you to understand is these alternative ingredients, please don't be intimidated. Sometimes it takes a bit of work. The cherries did sink a little bit more. Oh well, you got a surprise at the bottom. Who cares about that? But we're looking here. Every adjustment that I managed, every adjustment that I made seems to have worked, just like the other one. Got a little bit of taste change, a little bit of a texture change, negligible. No one eating this would be missing out, and I can guarantee anybody who did not know it was gluten-free or different sugars, they're not going to know.
They would have no clue.
And so this is why we do what we do. Everybody wonders, what is a fresh endeavor? Well, a fresh endeavor caters to many people, and adjusting recipes is a big part of that. So for an off-the-cuff duplicate recipe, I'm pretty pleased with our results here. And this is our breakfast brunch.
So again, mine tasted a little bit different. It was more like what Christine said, like a Christmas pudding. This tastes like a really good, flavorful banana cake or banana muffin.
Banana muffin, banana cake.
And both tasted really good. But if you're looking for more of a banana muffiny, cakey type thing, this one right here is the one you'd want.
But your gluten-free friends and family would appreciate this. Anybody who's looking for something a little lower in the glycemic index would definitely appreciate this as a treat. And I'm kind of blown away by the flavor. I mean, I didn't expect it to be this good, frankly. We've got 2 success stories with these banana mug cakes. Play around with it, guys. Have some fun with it. And there you have it. Happy baking, happy fall. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.